Hey guys, it's me again. This is not an official rant. The next one I need my husband for, and he's like out for the rest of the night. He's gonna be back for several hours. But no one's here, so I could be as freaking loud as I want. Whoop whoop. But I wanted to do my own interpretation of something I see so many times on YouTube, and I can barely watch. I see a lot of attempts of people from around the world trying to eat Vegemite sandwiches, and I feel like not many YouTubers, especially Americans or Europeans, they don't quite understand the way we eat it. I mean, there's different degrees of the way Australians like it. You'll get the really crazy extreme ones that like them. They put Vegemite on it like Nutella. That's the extreme version, but not me. I am going to, for those who are probably new or are curious about Vegemite and they haven't tried it yet, I'm going to show you the proper way to make it if you're starting out. So, are we back? This is the first step. It's the kind of bread that you use. You're going to get pretty cheap, crappy white bread. That's the best kind of bread to put it on. This has just come out of the fridge, so it's a little bit cold. That's the first step. Just while I've got the bread in the toaster, I'll just show off this shirt of mine. I can't see it very well, but it's for you otaku out there, it's a K-on shirt. It doesn't have any of the girls on it, it just says K-on it and has a guitar on the front. And, it's nothing major, it's just another nerd shirt to show off. So we're just waiting for the toast, so we'll be a minute. Next step, this is the toast all done. It's nice and golden brown, a little bit overdone on the other side. But this side is the perfect example. It's all golden brown and nice, and it's actually kind of hot. And that's the next step. Next part is the butter. And this is just one from Coles. Now my personal preference, because I'm not one of those crazy Australians that eats, this much of Vegemite. I spent most of my life actually hating it. But I realised I was actually just eating it the wrong way, I was just a bit of a chicken to keep trying it. So you want to put a decent amount on, like not too much, but just enough so you can be aware that the butter's there, I guess. Okay, so just spread it on evenly, like this. See, good amount of butter on the top. This is just personal preference. Okay, this is the way I make my Vegemite. Next step is putting on the Vegemite itself. I will agree, it's a very strong smell, but I've come to deal with it. Now, you've got to be very careful about the amount that you put on. Like, even the amount of butter that I put on will overpower the amount of Vegemite I put on. So me personally, this is about the maximum that I'll put on. And you got to do it very thinly and very carefully. You don't want any corner of the bread having an excessive amount. You really don't. So you gotta be really careful about it. I've laid it on a little thick, but I'm one of those Australians. I like my Vegemite. I'll eat it. So this is, for the beginners, this is like the maximum or the most I recommend putting on. And if it's still too much for you, then this is what I recommend. What I do, this is what I like to do if I think I put too much Vegemite on it. I actually get another thin layer of butter just to even it out. Not too much, but a little tiny bit like this, and then I spread it on like that. There you go. And that is Vegemite toast. Because I can both evenly taste both the butter and the Vegemite. It's not so strong that all you people that like to first time try Vegemite off the spoon, watching it go nuts. Okay. But if you still don't like it, then it's obviously just not for you. So, I'm going to enjoy my Vegemite toast. And I'll see you all later. Bye.